Milleron. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the second name right, last name right.
Mulheron.
Mulheron. Okay,
Mulheron.
thank you. Thank you for correcting, Elizabeth. So
That's
she's an energy healer, psychic, and mindfulness and intuitive expert from Sydney, Australia, and she's going to be with us for giving us understanding of the power of self-talk. I am the God within. Elizabeth, all yours. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I just want to thank the Marvin team for reaching out and allowing me the opportunity to share my knowledge to help each and everyone, whether it's a little bit, whether it's light, as long as I can make some sort of impact, that's what my role is. And it's a beautiful time, especially now there's so much change and transformation. It's actually, I say to my clients, it's actually a beautiful time. It's like a flower bud just starting to open, and as the petals open, the petals are creased and not 100% right, but as it opens fuller, it becomes more perfect. And I think that's what we're all going through, whether we like it or not. And for those that are many watching this have been on the healing journey for a long time, and the healing never stops. I think the healing stops when our soul returns to where it came from. But some are being forced with a heavy hand from the heavens to shift and change. And as many of us on this journey, whether we're healers or there just to listen to someone that needs us, it's our role to support in whatever way we can. So I'm very blessed and thank you and appreciative of allowing the space to share my knowledge. And it's very much going to follow on with Alan and the heart and the soul. Just a little bit about myself. I am based in Sydney, Australia, and I'm a psychic, a medium, and an energy healer. And I also wrap them qualities up to help people with life and business decisions. And it's an ability that found me. I never ever thought I'd be doing this, but through trauma and situations that I had no control over, and I just had to let God send me where he wanted me to send me. And then when you start seeing things and hearing things and everyone telling you you're saying you're going crazy, you go, I got to figure this out. So I wasn't going crazy, and I was very fortunate to find some beautiful healers that were able to give me an understanding of what I was going through. And then that led me down the path of helping others. So, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I love being unique, and each and every one of us are unique. And that uniqueness I've just launched 2 books on Amazon, which is about listening to yourself and getting that information out to help others. And I work very much with the angels, the archangels, and that sort of realm. You could probably see that by my healing room. It's where I come to escape. But it is stopping and listening to yourself. So the power of self-talk is we're always in our head. And it's time that we come down and listen to our heart, because the heart is where the answers are. The head is just putting it into a logical order. So as humans, we can orchestrate what we need to. But we have to come down to the heart and feel. And I want to say for centuries, feelings are being known as not a good thing, but feelings are what drives us. And we have to start looking at that and following that. If we get an angry feeling, that's okay. If we're jealous, that's okay. If we feel rage, that's okay. But it's about sitting with their feelings, acknowledging where they come from, because they come from somewhere, and then letting them go. The damage it causes, illness within our body, our physical body, is holding on to then so-called negative emotions. And when we hold on to them, we're not acknowledging them. So the idea is to acknowledge all feelings, hold on to the ones that make you feel good, and let go of the ones that don't. And quite often I see children, and for those of you that practice, have children come to you for assistance, and quite often they say, I get angry and I don't know what I'm angry about. Quite often it's not their anger, it's someone around them. It could be a past life. I believe in past lives. So, we connect with children. You connect them on an emotional level from whoever's around them, and all of a sudden they come back to being themselves. But if you say to a child, why are you angry? And they say, oh, well, I'm angry because, my brother wore my favorite shirt and he put a hole in it. Well, then you can articulate that. He knows what that anger is. So it's working out what the feeling is. So going within is having that conversation with yourself, is that time out where you're frustrated with a situation. And rather than just letting it all come out, go away and sit for 5 minutes and have that conversation with yourself. Is that right? What's my part in this story? Because we're walking magnets. Every situation we're involved in, good or bad, we have attracted to us for whatever reason. And when it's a situation that we don't like, we've called that into our life for a reason. What's the lesson in that? So it's sitting within and analysing yourself before you make decisions, analysing yourself before you judge others. Because life is a lesson. We're all here to learn. We come into this world perfect. We go through as perfect. We don't think we're perfect. We'll keep working on that and we go out perfect. So it's going within. And when I say the God within, I'm Catholic. So I do believe in a God and Jesus and Mary, but not everyone does. Some are so against all religion. And when you look at history, you can understand why. But there is a powerful source out there. I call it God. Some would call it universe. Some would call it energy. Whatever you want to call it, that's your individual right to give it whatever name you want to give it. And so when I say I am the God within, following on from Alan's talk, we have the heart center. The heart center is where it all starts. Life starts with that. It's a click like that, and the light from heaven is upon us in human form, and we start to grow. For 9 months, we're perfect. We don't need any help. We just grow into this perfect human being, and then we come out full of love, full of light, full of wonder. Everything we look at is magnificent. The leaves on the trees, someone's smile. But then as we grow, we get conditioned, we get programmed. And some of us are fortunate and have that programming is all about love and light and nurturing. But many of us don't have that experience. So we go through hardships. And then as we go through hardships, as a human, we tend to get this, I want to say, a crust around our heart center. What that does is protects us. And then what we tend to do is look at things with not such a loving heart. But what we need to do is go back to that loving heart. And the way we do it is the words we use for ourselves, the way we talk to ourselves, the way we express ourselves to others, the way we talk to others. So, and in all forms, whether it's written, whether it's verbal, whether it's a thought. And quite often people forget about the thought. Every thought has a vibration, and every thought goes out there and it's off on like a little train along the train track to its destination. So when you have those thoughts and they're loving thoughts, let them go. But if you're having a thought and you know it's not a nice feeling, because you can feel it in your gut, and everyone watching this in this festival feels. We're all intuitive beings, and you know wholeheartedly whether it's a right thing or wrong thing. And if you feel it's a wrong thing, you hold on to that and you go, okay, I'm going to change this. I'm going to shift it, because whatever I put out comes back. And once you realize that, and there's lots of experiences, like I'll have a person that comes to me and they may be, for example, unfaithful in their marriage. And then they come to me and they say, but my business is falling apart. And I said, well, you've got you're doing one thing over here and then karma's getting you over here. And they're going, but they're two completely different things. I said, they're not. Everything is whole. We're a whole being. Whatever decision we make, whatever thought we have, whatever word we use has a ricochet effect on our life and our future. And so for us to have a bright future and to have a happy future is going within and analysing ourselves. We all were created from God, the divine, the spark, the source. Each and every one of us are little godlike humans with that beautiful spark that sits here. And quite often we cover it because maybe we don't want to be noticed, maybe we think we're different, but it's time for everyone to shine. It's time for everyone to stand in their uniqueness and own who you are and accept who you are. And we're all different, and it's looking in the mirror and just saying, I am beautiful, I am complete, I am whole. Them three simple things every time you look in the mirror. And when you think about how many times you look in the mirror, you'd be quite surprised, when you go to the bathroom, when you have a shower, at night, when you're getting dressed. So when you get dressed to go to work or get dressed to go and pick up the kids from school or to do the shopping, how do you look at yourself in the mirror? Do you judge yourself? Are you hard on yourself? Are you critical of yourself? Or do you look at yourself and go, yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm happy. I'm doing the best I can, and I'm going to make a difference today. Because when you look in the mirror, you're actually looking at your soul, because you're looking at the reflection of you. The reflection of you is the God within. So when you put yourself down, you're putting God down. When you give yourself a compliment, you're giving God a compliment. And with all compliments, you feel good. So, I suppose from my talk today, I want everyone to take away the power of the speech you use, especially to yourself, because we're very good at wearing a mask. And we can say things we want to say because we know someone wants to hear it. But then when we turn around and look at ourselves, we're very hard on ourselves. But it's time to not be hard on ourselves, because no one's done anything wrong. No one's broken. People come to me and say, Liz, I'm broken. I say, no one's broken. It's just that we're a little bit lost. And the way we get back to finding who we are is going within, going back into that God self that I am. And if you're not happy with yourself, then you make the changes. And you seek help, or you seek guidance, or you seek a book. There's so much information out there. And, there's 52 wonderful speakers, or there's so many people here that you can reach out to if you need a hand. But it's taking ownership of that. And with the I am is every day say to yourself, I am positive, I'm wealthy, I'm wise. You work out what words you want to use, because everyone's different. Everyone's life is different. Everyone's expectations, everyone's dreams are different. And write a list and write I am and just a word after it. And all of a sudden, once you sit there and write that list, you'll have 100 words in under 20 minutes. And then keep that. And every day you look at that list and you remind yourself how beautiful you are, because we're all perfect, and we came into this world to help serve, and that's what our purpose is. And when people are looking for their purpose in life, and I love what I do. It's a little bit different, it's unique. I fell into it. It was certainly a hard journey. It wasn't easy, but I wouldn't change it for the world. And I look at it and I'm truly blessed. But the hardships I've been through, there has a client, how can I say this? Every client I've met, I've had some life experience of what they've gone through. And, I said to someone recently about my life experience, and he said, gee, that's really tragic. And I said, well, you could call it tragic. I want to say it's developed me the person I am, because I can look back and see the blessings in everything, because every situation, every experience has blessings, but we just have to look for it. And sometimes it takes a while, and sometimes it's scary, but it's going into that closet. It's like cleaning out your wardrobe at home. The last thing you want to do is open that cupboard and go, oh my God, I've got to go through that. But then once you open it, and go through it and then reorganize it. You open the cupboard and you go, wow, it's so organized, it's refreshed. I can go buy some new clothes to put in my wardrobe. So it's the spirituality is looking within and being honest and open with yourself and love who you are, no matter what wrapping you have around that beautiful heart, no matter what education you have, what family you come from, it doesn't matter. It's about who you are and just accepting your uniqueness. And we have this beautiful light. And I have this beautiful exercise where, generally when you breathe in and you breathe down and the light comes down through you, whereas I get this beautiful light where it comes down and you breathe in through your crown and you grab it with your heart, and on the out breath, you breathe the energy out from your heart into the world. And we can all do that. And so it's beautiful. I might, if everyone's happy with it, I might just do a little exercise for that, because I think the world needs a lot of healing. And this is a beautiful visualization I had a little while ago about healing the world my unique way. So if everyone's happy to do a little bit of healing for each and every one of us, so you can either close your eyes or have your hands open. So I want you to visualize holding the world in your hand. And if you happen to have something round around you, hold it, but otherwise just visualize holding the world. Now I want you to take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, welcome love and light through your crown chakra down into your heart space, and fill your heart up with love and light, and just gently breathe out. Take another deep breath in, down the heart space, fill your heart up, and then gently breathe out. Now on the third breath, we're going to breathe in down to that heart space, hold on to it for a couple of counts, and then breathe out as if you're breathing into the world. It's like blowing up a balloon. So as you breathe out that beautiful pink light, you're sending a blessing to each and every human, every planet, every plant, and every animal on our planet. The healing will go where it needs to go. We're not directing it in where it needs to go. We're just giving unconditional love to the planet. So let's just do that 3 more times. So deep breath in through your crown, down to your heart, and send a beautiful breath, a beautiful pink light into our healing, our planet. Take a deep breath in, down to your heart, breathe it out. And just one more time, breathe in, down to your heart, and breathe out into the world. And as you hold the world, you might feel it's getting a bit heavier. That's because it's filling up with your love. And that same exercise, okay, just in your mind, just thank the heavens for that beautiful exercise, because that's a tool you can all use now. So with that beautiful gift of love and light, that beautiful breath from I am to anyone, you can send that love to a family member who's unwell. Doesn't matter where they are. Even if it's someone you don't like, you send that love to that person, unconditional love. It's their soul choice, their soul's choice to accept it or not. So just remember, we all have the healing power within us. We just have to trust it and share it. And remember to always, whenever you look at yourself in the mirror, I'm beautiful, I'm whole, and I'm complete. And any other words you want to use. So I hope that has resonated. I hope I've helped someone with that beautiful message of love and light. And if you'd like to reach out to me, I'm available, and my website's lizmulheron.com. I also have on Amazon, if you Google my name, my 2 books will pop up. But I'm here to help, so just reach out. And I also on YouTube, I do videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Message from the Heavens, and that's my gift of giving back to everyone. So I want to thank the Marvel team for giving me the opportunity to help make a difference.
Awesome, Elizabeth. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful session, and I'm sure everybody feels connected. So if you could just mention on the chat box the website and the YouTube channel one more time. Message from the Heavens is your YouTube channel.
Yep.
And what's the website? If
The
you could just,
website is lizmulheron.com.
if you could type it, please. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Whoops, hold on. I'm very good at talking to angels. Technology is not my thing.
So
But,
shall I?
I don't pretend to be perfect at everything.
So I've written Elizabeth, and what else after that?
It's Liz, Liz,
Liz. Okay.
mulheron.com.
Okay. Just check once in the chat box, please. Is it right?
Where's the chat box?
It's
Yes.
down below. Yeah. You got it? It's
Yep.
perfect.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool. Nice. So I'm sure a lot of us will get in touch and we'll connect back with you on any questions that they have. I really resonate with, and I'm sure many of us resonate with what you said, that everything is connected and we don't need to really, um, think of that we've done something bad when we experience emotions. We
Mm.
need to accept them, live with them, and then we can recreate them. So,
That's very, very true.
yeah.
It's very, very true.
So what you shared was very, very powerful, and I'm sure each of us would try it out whenever we go through, spikes of emotions in our life, and it'll help us a lot. And it's great to know that you're a psychic and you've been healing people. So love you for that, and we'll
Thank
spread more
you.
love and light across the universe. So
Thank
thank you
you.
so much, Elizabeth. Thank you for being
You're
here.
very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. So, my dear friends, that was a wonderful session from Elizabeth. So, now we will go ahead and invite Miss Reena Yadav. She's a life coach and pranic healer from Bangalore. And she's going to be talking about your most valuable investment is your vibration. Reena, can we have you here, please? Reena, are you there? Meanwhile, yes, Reena, can you unmute yourself, please? You're not able to? Okay, I'll just help you with that. One second. Give me a moment. Yes. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I'm unmuted now.
Yeah. Yes.
So just a quick sound check. Everything okay?
Everything perfect.
Great. Yes, I'm very excited. This is very good. I really enjoyed everything since morning. Hi, guys. I really enjoyed talking to all three of you. And Elizabeth Malhiro, thank you, thank you, thank you for your talk. Can I just tell you this? I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm safe, I'm having fun. This is our IAD Life affirmation, which I have created. IAD Life is a company that I have founded in 2013 after my 16 years of industrial experience as a scientist. And now I'm in this field, and this is got such a scientific basis. And I'm so glad I'm into this because I got into this in order to heal my life. And then eventually I started thinking, it was going to benefit people. And then I had to pay my bills. And so it became a job and something that I started doing in mainstream. So I do this as a main job now. So Elizabeth, thank you very much. It was amazing with the flow with which you took us through understanding about I am, and I do follow that. And Master Alan, thank you so much for your song. It was so beautiful. I could really feel the calmness on my head and on my back. It is amazing to know that vibration is the key to any good life. Now, how do we know that? The moment you say that, people first ask, what is vibration? How do we go about it? So I'm going to be covering everything. But before that, even I have a song. And Master Alan, you will be surprised to know even I was guided to sing the song, which is going to be amazing. One line only. Okay, so here it goes. Okay, this is for my today's work. I was guided to add this, and this is the moment you wake up, before you put on your makeup, say a little prayer for you. The moment you wake up, the sleep good, not so good, whether it was restless one, whether it was a painful one, whether it was a restful one and you've relaxed one, you just wake up and say loving words to yourself, say thankful words to yourself, say healing words to yourself, say words like which will make you feel that I am worth something, because you are. And the moment you do that, you use those supportive words, the kind words, the healing words, it sets a momentum for a very high vibration. The vibration I'm talking about is associated with energy. Vibration is nothing but your own mood. Vibration is your own emotions. The way you know about your emotions will help you understand how exactly you channel your vibration, how exactly do you actually monitor your vibration, how exactly do you take your vibrations high, and how to catch them the moment they start lowering down. So why is it that we need to be in high vibration? Why is it that, as you will see as we go forward, that life pushes us to move towards high vibration? Why is that? Why aren't we just okay exactly the way is it here and now? Why is it that we feel the craving? We feel that there is a knowing that we are meant to be in a better place than we are now. And I'm saying that for people who feel that, it's not that everybody is hurting. It's that if you're here, you want to enhance your life. If you are at a loss, you want to heal that. It is as simple as that. Healing does not mean that you have to be broken. It does not mean that you have to be shattered and you are meant for, you're into poverty and you're into a very bad situation. It's not like that. Healing is about growth, personal growth, professional growth, relationship growth, finance growth, anything that helps you enhance your life, that's healing. And healing is a matter of honor, especially because the moment you ask for it, right teacher starts appearing in front of you. Grabbing that opportunity is your responsibility. But the universe doesn't judge you, so if you don't take that opportunity, it is like I actually say that it's like a GPRS. If you don't take that turn, it will take you to the another turn. It will keep showing you, because you have asked that question, but it will not stop showing you till you change your question. Okay, so asking everything in a way that we get only things which are beneficial to you, to each one of us, is a high vibrational task. So why is it that we want to do high vibrational thing? As Elizabeth explained very nicely, that we have come from divine. And then we came on this earth, and then we had our influencers, our caregivers, our teachers, and then we had our own interpretation. Either we are trying to be like them, or either we are trying to be against them, or we are trying to be something else. But we created our own interpretation, and then we started our own understanding of life. In many cases, it was not a very high vibrational conversation with the self. When we started having these conversations, many a times you will see there's a lot of negative connotation to it, and many times it pulls you down. When it pulls you down, that's the place where you are in low vibration. Many times, if anybody stays in the low vibration longer than they are, then starts this things like fear, irritation, anger, sadness, and a little longer than that, then you get into this whirlpool of life situation, which can be like bringing you suicidal thoughts, depression, and it is like a mirage. It keeps you there. So what I do is I do something called merry-go-round meditation. Okay, in that what I do is I actually ask you where it is, and I show you where you are in that merry-go-round, which is in the like center of whatever level of low vibration you are in, and then verbally through the meditation I pull you out, and then I bring you to a place where there is a high vibration. So you have an experience, an internal experience of what high vibration is like. Okay, when you realize that this low vibration is not for me, and you start asking for teachers like all these people you're going to be hearing amazing talks, you will understand that this is the start, or this is an ongoing journey of your spiritual awareness. Now you have started to unlearn all that you have learned and which has not been useful for you. So what you do is you start learning about high vibration, and then to have happy, healthy, safe, fun manifestations, high vibration is a necessity. high vibration is such an amazing tool, then how is it that people have not heard about it? How is it that it is not a part of a regular curriculum? How is it that we were not forced to learn it? And how is it that people were not strict about it, that you don't open one single negative word about yourself? There is a reason for that. Our ancestors used fear as a decision making. Fear is it flight or fight. Fear gets embedded, trauma gets embedded into our DNA. All these are proven facts by scientists. They get stored in our DNA, and then it has been passed through generations, and it has come into our generations as well. Our caregivers, our caregivers are also have been giving us this information. Whether there could be a possibility that they didn't know, because their caregivers taught exactly the same thing. It could be a possibility they were trying to manage us. There is a possibility that they were trying to keep us safe. But having said that, let me also share with you that I know of this for sure, that caregivers also give these high vibrational conversations which get embedded into your brain. There's somebody who had told me about her grandmother who in Kannada, which is the language used in Karnataka, used to say about Tumba ide tagond banni. I have lots, go get some more. Meaning, it's getting over, put it in the list to get the groceries. But what the words that she used was there is enough, get some more. So these would say that abundance is always there, but always keep working for getting more. So there wasn't like, oh, I don't have, so I need to work for it. So you need to understand that regardless of who taught you what, now is our chance to actually build our own mindset, build our own thinking, build our own understanding. And the understanding that I advocate is that of high vibration. So what are the other reasons that we don't really, even though we know about this, we find it difficult, or we have to put an effort, or there is still work to be done on a regular basis in order to get that high vibration as our everyday process? The reason for that is because when people are in high vibration, they are happy. They miss out on some chores because they're content easily. When you're in high vibration, you become overly generous. And then later on, when you go a little low in vibration, then you regret. You're saying, what was I thinking? There's also a possibility that when you are in high vibration, the other people who are not in alignment with you, they will start moving away. The things which are not in alignment with you will start moving away because you are growing. You're spiritually growing, you're vibrationally growing. So there comes fear of missing out, FOMO. Another important thing is that, when you are not in high vibration and you are in low vibration, you are actually on your toes and you're doing a lot of things. You're constantly, reminding yourself to revise, to work, to make a list of the things to do, and to challenge yourself. But in high vibration, you don't need to be challenged. If you really want to challenge yourself, then challenge yourself this. That every talk I hear, I'm going to take a learning. Set an intention that is going to be good for you. Set an intention that something really good is going to happen. If you really want to challenge yourself, then challenge yourself that from morning to evening today, I'm not going to say one word of negative word about myself. Take these kind of challenges. How can manifestation be good if you are in high vibration? When you are in high vibration, everything is doable. You feel you can do and have and achieve anything in your life. Okay? Everything is possible and doable. You are a creative being, so creative ideas starts pouring in. And every single thing in your creativity is of high vibration, so it will start attracting resources which is of high vibration, and it starts coming to you. In this science, which I have coined as human science, like attracts like. So when you and your creative ideas are in high vibration, everything about it is a high vibrational. So if you are a doer, if you are a go-getter, so you can still do that work, and every single thing done there will have a great result. Okay. Another important thing, when you know that even if you end up attracting some life situations in your life, for some reason or the other, you're able to solve it. Nothing remains in the space for a very long time. Then that gives you the confidence that you're not going to be scared. If any time a situation arises, there's always a solution. You'll know that. You'll tell yourself that. Fear arises when a situation doesn't solve and healing takes much longer. Solution is doable only when you know that there are these steps, or there are at least the first step that I can carry out. For any reason whatsoever, if you are not able to solve that, then the fear arises. Coming out of that low vibration becomes very difficult, and getting into the low vibration becomes easy. Okay? But when you know that, okay, I have a situation, I recognize that, okay, and I'm not ignoring it, I can solve it, there is a solution. So what is it that you do? You let go fear. And when there is no fear, there is only love. And that is high vibrational. What else can high vibration help in? It attracts anything and everything that is good and beneficial to you. If ever you want to do something and you want to have good results, now you're an attractor. Resources will come to you. Now it is your responsibility to allow, okay? Because by nature, you will be surprised to know how much people think that they all have to do everything themselves. But now what happens is, now you will become a delegator. You will become a doer and you will become a delegator. So there is so many fold of work that gets done. Okay? So the more you are able to attract, the more creative ideas you have, the more support system you have, and they are loving support system, they are beneficial support system. So they are good co-creators, good codependencies, which you are going to start creating. Okay. And another very important thing, forgiveness becomes comfortable. And I'm not saying you shove it under the rug. No, ma'am, no, sir, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that at that point, you will be in a vibration where you will recognize that, yes, look, I made that mistake of attracting. I am the creator of my own realities. I'm the creator of my life situation. So I am the one who can change this. I recognize my own power. So I will take the responsibility of changing that as well. So I forgive myself. Other people who have contributed, their responsibility doesn't diminish. But then the energy that you're giving will lessen. I'll tell you a quick story. The story is about a magician called Merlin. Okay, Merlin was called in a village where there was a witch who was hurting people, and he tried everything, but the witch was getting more and more powerful. So one fine day, the witch noticed that nobody was paying attention to her, and everybody had assembled in a small hut. So she went inside the hut and she saw nobody was looking at her. Nobody was even talking to her. Nobody was even giving attention to her. Nobody was scared of her. Nobody was even giving her looks as if, oh, somebody's arrived. Everybody was just looking straight. So she went around the room and then she reached Merlin and she asked him, "What are you doing? What are you doing to me? I'm not feeling that good." So Merlin said, this is very interesting. Merlin said, "We will forget you." The moment he said that, what it implies is that the moment I do not give you my attention, I do not give you my power. The reason unforgiveness stays in our space is because it keeps us in low vibration. And in low vibration, we keep focusing on the hurt and we keep creating hypothesis, that is hypothetic past. Something that has happened, but we want to go back and correct it in our mind. Because physically it is not possible. Yes, you can do that through therapy and you can recreate and rescript it. But what I'm saying now, in high vibration, that is also not your responsibility. It is taken care of. Whatever you need to take care of action-wise, whether it's a legal action, whether it's a physical action, whether it's an emotional action, It will be done, but you will be benefited. That is the aim of this understanding. What else does high vibration do? You become more receptive. Whatever you hear, you will get the information that you are looking for. This is for me, this isn't for me, or this is useful for me. You will absorb faster anything that is good for you. And you will create this filter where you will very clearly say, good and only good is allowed within me, in my space, in my mind, in my body, in my space. Everything is in a flow. Your body works at an optimum level. You heal faster. There are two examples which are very well known. Kathy Goodman, she healed herself of breast cancer within 3 months. And in 3 months, she didn't go for any therapy. Only thing she did was she stayed happy. She watched happy movies. She stayed happy with her husband. And only thing she did was she decided that she's going to be happy. So she stayed in high vibration. And within 3 months, she healed herself of breast cancer. This is a known fact, and there's a book published on it, and she's also starring in the movie The Secret. Another person, Anita Murjani, she had a near-death experience. Okay, her body was riddled with cancer, but she went into high vibration. Okay, after the death experience she had, and then she came back from the high vibration. When she came back from that level of high vibration, within weeks she healed. The healing happened because she went to that high vibration. So high vibration heals much faster. It is an experience, and it is something that people have been doing that, because any person who tries to do something, a project, a healing experience, a relationship, when you do it with a mind which is of high vibration. I'm not using the word positive right now for a very simple reason. Positive for one person may not be positive for the other. So I'm saying high vibrational. So it is like you internally feel whatever I'm saying that has a high vibrational meaning, high vibrational feeling. Okay. Words have meaning. Meaning have emotions attached to it. Okay. Based on your understanding. Whatever we were taught, whatever we interpreted as we grew up, and then we attached emotions to it, and then what happened was next, it decided whether it would go to a database of low vibration or a database of high vibration. Okay, and accordingly, the high vibration picks up and then gives it to us. Okay, so that's how high vibration works. So high vibration is not about ignoring anything. High vibration is not about shoving something under the rug or avoiding something. It's about knowing the path that I'm taking, I will be taken care of by me, by my own self, because I have my biggest support system, and that is my energy. And then the rest of the support system that you believe in will start contributing in a way that will keep you happy, healthy, safe, and you having fun. Another thing that we have noticed is that when you're in high vibration, whatever manifestations you really enjoy it. It's sweeter. Okay, it has its own time span, but you'll enjoy the whole journey. To understand the high vibration, it is also important to know how exactly does low vibration look like. There's one example I'm going to share how low vibration can possibly occur. Okay, suppose you are in low vibration and you are you're going through some life situation and you're asking yourself, what did I do? I was fine a minute ago and I'm like this. This is one theory I'd like to share with you. See, what happens is sometimes mind is very powerful. We all agree with that. Mind is constantly thinking, has the capacity of moving at a speed of light years. So what happens is like you're not thinking and then you are also thinking. So you're basically multitasking. Suppose you're driving, suppose you're cooking, suppose you're typing, or suppose you're even having a conversation with somebody else. You're parallelly doing something else. Your mind actually takes you to another space where you think you have unresolved issues. The reason you keep going back to the unresolved issues is because there is a thinking in you that you are not good enough. Okay? The moment you tell yourself, based on the parameters, based on all the resources I had, that is all I could do. And there is nothing more I want to do going back there. Whatever I want to do about it, I want to do it now. So now what do I do? What is it that I'm supposed to do here? One thing you do is you don't go back there, because if you do that, that becomes a habit of your brain, habit of your mind, and it inadvertently goes there. The moment you go to a place which has not been great for you, then what happens is, this is another interesting aspect. In physics, water seeks its own level. Okay, if you have a higher level and there's a lower level, water will come down and it will come to the same level. Energy seeks its own level too. If you have a higher vibration and there's somebody else with a lower vibration, suppose it's a thought, it's your own internal criticism, or it is the event that has happened, that incident that happened, or that interaction that happened that didn't suit you, that result that you didn't like, even if it is just a movie, your thoughts will go towards that thought, and then you will lower in your energy. The reason for that is because you're not open to taking energy from the divine. So there is no coming in and there is only going out. So ultimately your energy goes down and your vibration goes down, and ultimately what happens? You're in low vibrational state. The people who actually contribute to that, according to Dr. Christina Northrup, it's called, they have a term called energy vampires. And there are people who do that. People who are of low vibrational, they get attracted to people who are high vibrational because they get that energy from them. And if you are somebody who's bad at receiving and good at giving, then you will only attract people who is good at taking. Keep that in mind. Even if you have them in your space, be clear that I'm going to cut my cords. Keep cutting your cords with them. You don't have to throw out any person from your life ever. You have to throw out, you have to let go behaviors, attributes, experiences, emotions. Detach yourself emotionally from past hurts, from people, but let people be around, because you have invited them to for the learning. So finish your learning. And if they are done with your, if you are done with your learning and you are comfortable, they themselves will move away. That happens with things as well. You will notice that. Yeah. So we have understood about high vibration, and I've been advocating about high vibration from the start of this talk. Okay. So let's look at all the different ways. I have made a list of the ways which we can keep our vibrational high. Okay. First is the merry-go-round meditation that I spoke about, that we conduct in order to bring you from low vibration to high vibration. Okay. Now there are some everyday things that we can do. Okay. Let's get going on that. I made a list and I'm going to keep giving you one after another. Okay. The first one is the shopping. Retail therapy is a thing. Okay. It does make you feel better. Okay. But one point of advice, go for window shopping. Don't purchase anything when you're in low vibration. Let your vibrations go high and then decide. Suppose you're doing it online, put everything in the cart and wait. Let your vibrations come high and then you decide. And many times you'll go back to the cart and you will tell yourself, what was I thinking? Why did I put that in the cart? I don't want that. I don't need that. I have a better choice. Okay. Oh no, I need something better. So don't purchase, but you can utilize that. Okay. Yeah. You can watch your favorite programs, but when you're watching your favorite programs, fix the timing. Okay. Always carry an alarm clock. Okay. I always keep an alarm clock handy. It is something like this. Okay. It is a very good advice, especially when you're working on your vibration. Always keep an alarm clock, keep a 20 minutes timing and tell yourself, I'll watch this for 20 minutes and I'll see how my vibration is, and scale your vibration from 0 to 10. 0 being the least, that means it's absolutely no hope. You're going into depression and you need clinical help, or you need to get in touch with somebody, a counselor, a life coach, or you are towards a higher. So you will see your change. So you will feel much, much, much better. Okay. Music. Play the music as long as you can. Listen to the music as long as you can. And you can just have this light instrumental music playing at the back while you are doing your work, you know, it will help you. And it will help you at a level that you won't be consciously disturbed, but you are very at a semi-conscious level, you start getting better and better. Okay. There's something that we teach in IAD Life is EFT, tapping, emotional freedom technique. Oh, it is amazing. Okay, it is all about scaling your vibration board in the start, and then finding out where you are at the end, and in the middle there is a journey that includes telling yourself what is wrong, and then we just called, you know, the setup statements, and then the middle statement, and then there is the affirmation statements. Okay, so all the details are there in IAD Life. I'm going to tell you in brief. Okay, what you can do is we have meridian points on our face. So all these meridian points, this particular study, EFT, emotional freedom technique, on short is also called as tapping, is a combination of Chinese acupressure, okay, and human psychology. It says that all our traumas get stored in our amygdala, which is right at the back here. Okay, and when you face low vibration, sometimes you don't even know what is bothering you. So that starts surfacing. Okay, the moment it surfaces, you know, and you're able to release it, then you go to the last part, and that is affirmation. All right, you can eat your favorite food, but again, here what I would suggest is that eat the staple meal so that it brings you energy. If you want to eat your favorite food like chocolates, ice cream, anything that doesn't fit into your diet list, then what you can do is that, yeah, so what I'll do is I'll quickly go through some of the tips because my time is over. So yeah, so things that you can do is walking, running, creative activities, visiting serene places. You can do affirmations. What you can do is you can write affirmations in post-its and place it just about anywhere. You can have these wonderful books that raise your vibration, which have information on vibration, or reading is a very good one. And then there is this magnetic plate where you can write and put it on the fridge. There's a thing that I have included, and that is called freedom to and freedom from. So you can use pencil to freedom from and red pen from freedom to. And eventually your freedom to has to increase. Okay, my apologies, I'm speaking really fast because I want to cover all the points. You can groom yourself, you can start taking care of yourself, and talk to your life coach, play with your pet, enjoy your children, get intimate with your consenting partner, but beware that when you're in low vibration and you're somebody whose subconscious mind is of rejection, you may not be able to attract that. So think about it as use other options. Then another thing that I use is writing. Okay, suppose you have a situation. Do one thing is that what you do is that you write about yourself in a third person. Okay, so Rina went to park in a parking space, and then her car stopped and she had to call a towing truck. And then what happened was what you can do is you can put humor in it. You know, even in the situation which looks grim and difficult, you put humor in it. So basically she used to avoid towing trucks, and this time she called a towing truck. So what happens is when she called the towing truck, she actually could imagine that people who are parked on a Sunday in a non-parking space were going helter-skelter. So that brought a smile on her face, okay? Because she herself would avoid it. And now she was wondering how would people react when they see a towing truck, which is not there for them, but for her car. Another thing that you do is while you are writing, blessing surface, learning surface, and you can be grateful. And when you are writing gratitude, you always mention what is it that you are grateful for. So I'm grateful for this talk because I had an opportunity to share about high vibration, which I think is absolutely a mandatory subject, a mandatory process that everybody needs to follow. I need to follow, and I advocate that in every way. Meditation is another one. There's so many, there's mirror work, there's so much. I'm grateful to Mavin Spiritual Festival. I'm very, very grateful to the Mavin team. Dr. Shabana, Kushbu, and I just found out Ritu's name today. Ritu, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys have done such an amazing job of bringing so many people together. I have done event manager, so I know that it takes a lot to bring everybody together, from the start to the end. Giving me this opportunity is helping me grow, talk about something which I know is going to benefit people. I'm so sure about that. One of the things that I do, I write it somewhere, like today is the best day of my life. Okay. So these are the things I want to share with you. These are the things, please carry out. There are lots of people, you can do face yoga, you can keep pulling your face from every single direction. Fumiko teaches face yoga method. She has a company called Face Yoga Method. So you can go on the YouTube and find out more about it. And that will, pump up your vibrations really well, even if you're sitting in an office environment and you can't really go and do EFT and, do mirror work, etc. So thank you, everyone. This is definitely the most important, valuable, reliable investment for your spiritual journey. This is my guarantee to you. And I'm very grateful that every single person who's listening to me, you've given me an opportunity to speak. And this is amazing. I really like speaking to you guys like this as well. And now I will take some questions. I'm very, very grateful to everybody involved. And I'm looking forward to hearing all the amazing speakers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was really wonderful. And I'm sorry we had to rush because, we have a certain 25 minutes to 30 minutes timeline for each speaker. It's so wonderful that you shared how we can raise vibrations. And Shivo had a lot of questions and he was answering at the end. I saw him answering. So it was beautiful to, be in sync. So Manju has one question and we'll just take that, but we won't have time. And so it's like almost 10:40 and we've got to start the discussion.
Sure.
So, you could also answer them on the chat. That would be fine because we'll have a break at about 1 o'clock. So we'll request all the participants to park your questions in case we don't have time for any speaker to answer questions. Please send a question on the chat box and the speaker will answer it back in case they are still with us at around 1 o'clock. We'll have them answered for you and you can please read it up at that time, right?
Sure. Ritu, may I also request that you could share my WhatsApp number with them? So in case,
Sure, you can why don't you type it out? We'll have it here available.
Actually, this is on the mobile, so I have to transfer it to my laptop to
Fine,
be able to...
You send a direct message and I'll do it. Yeah, not to worry. Yeah,
thank you, Ritu. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Reenaji. It's been
Thank
wonderful.
you. Oh, just call me Reena, please.
Wonderful to hear you. And up next, we have with us the entire panel. Vinay, are you here? Vinay?
Yes.
Awesome. Great. Good morning. So we have a beautiful panel discussion that's going to happen now. I would request Master Alan, Elizabeth Malaron, and Sukhdeepak ji to come back up with us. And good morning, Sukhdeepak ji.
It was good. It was very good.
We'll just put you on. Master Alan, thank you for joining us again. And it would be lovely to hear you. I'm like really queuing up to hear you. Wait, I'll just pull on the other speaker.
I enjoyed Elizabeth and Reena also. I find that actually we're all in alignment, we have terminology, but we're really all in alignment. Because the teaching, the true teaching is one.
Yes. Each of us trying our bit on our journey to create that oneness. And it's beautiful, the high vibrations. All of us are really feeling beautiful. And I really want to hear more of you, each one of you. Sukhdeepak ji, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
So, Vinay, all yours.
Yes.
Without further ado, I would straight away hand it over to you.
Yes. Wow. What a lovely day it is. Ever since morning, listening to such wonderful speakers, starting with Alan. You were really awesome. Thank you for putting us connected to the soul. And I definitely have been following Master Shah for quite some time. And it's such a wonderful honor with you. And thank you, Sukhdeepak, my fellow trainer, coach, and my mentor. I've been learning a lot of things from you. And it's been definitely a wonderful audience over here as well. I really want to thank everyone who are committed listener, and thank you, Reena, for putting us to another level of vibration now. I'm already feeling the vibration right now. You can see my body language now is I'm moving on the high level of vibration. Okay, so the topic today is energy for life. Well, we have been talking about energies for quite some time, and it is there with respect to our understanding in our head. Uh, and a lot of people are saying, we are energy, we are body, we're not body, we are energy. When you go in the spiritual realm, so we're talking about quantum physics and everything. So I request any of you, maybe Alan or Deepak, to put some light on energy part, and so that everyone can understand in a layman's language what exactly do you mean by energy, and what exactly do you mean by energy for life. So just quick question to maybe Alan or Subhipak, whoever wants to start with.
If all right, Alan, if you want to go ahead, you can. Otherwise, I have a very small thing to say here.
Or
I-
Elizabeth also can.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to welcome Elizabeth also. Elizabeth, I also
I
listen to you.
can't
Thank you
be
so much.
you can't be the rainbow top. Okay. So Alan, would you like to
Yeah.
go first?
I'll say a few words. Thank you. I'll go back to one of my slides about Shen, Qi, Jing. Remember that started with the soul, then the heart. Soul was the warehouse of information. The heart receives the information. The spiritual heart receives the information, passes the information to the mind. The mind processes the information. And then we had Qi, prana, energy, and Jing, matter. Okay. To me, energy and matter make up our physical body. Matter and energy coexist. They're one. Einstein gave us the formula, the equivalence of mass and energy. So energy and matter are a body, and they are the actioners, the manifestors of what starts with our soul, our heart, and our mind. So for me, energy is important. Many of you are energy healers. And when we're sick, we have blocked energy, we have insufficient energy. There's an energy blockage, okay? We can have matter blockages. We can have growths, cysts, tumors, okay? Blocked blood vessels, okay? Cancer. But the root blockages for me are at the non-physical levels. You could say the spiritual levels, the realms of consciousness, the realms of the soul, the spirit. And if you believe in karma, then I think that is very clear that karma is the root cause of the successes, the blessings we have in our lives, but they're also the positive karma. But the negative karma is the root cause of the challenges we have, the pain, the suffering that we have in our lives. So these can manifest in our body, they can manifest in our mind, they can manifest in our heart. We can have negative thoughts, we could have a big ego, all kinds of mental negativity. We could have competition, all kinds of negativities in the heart. But the root is the soul. So I honor all healing modalities, but true and complete healing for me has to be healing of the soul, then the heart, then the mind, then the body. So energy is one
Great.
in that critical step, but by itself, I don't think it's enough.
Great.
All right.
Great. Thank you so much, Alan. And I would
Okay.
also
If
like
I
to
may.
listen to Deepak and Elizabeth as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Elizabeth, you don't mind me going ahead?
Yeah, it's all yours.
All right. Thank you very much. Back in 1996, I think, after having read a lot of books about the parallels between science and spirituality, I was introduced to something called Reiki. All right. And there was this lady who wanted to touch me, and I said, "Hey, you can't do that. What nonsense is this?" So I prided myself, to be scientific guy, you know. So anyway, persuasion didn't work. And so I landed up at the house of an income tax commissioner whose wife happened to be a PhD in physics and working for the Baba Atomic Research Center. And she started talking to me about it, and my skepticism came up. And she said to me, "So Deepak, you're suffering from the arrogance of ignorance." That sounded like a slap on my face, you know. And then I said to myself, if a quantum physicist is talking, I better listen to it. And I did. And I'm very happy that I did, because for the first time in my life, you know, the concepts that I read in the Dancing Wu Li Masters and the Tao of physics, they started making sense to me. And I understood that there is this life force energy which pervades the universe. Okay. And we are only energy. And we are energies vibrating at different vibratory levels. And when I started exploring the world of Reiki, and I became a Reiki master and all that stuff, and I actually started experiencing a whole lot of things, especially when I went for Vipassana, and I was able to experience my body as an energy body. So there's nothing like experiencing something personally to start believing. So I experienced it, I saw it. I saw that every belief manifests in the body. Okay, there's a different vibration for every belief in my body. So when Alan talks about the heart, you know, where the love energy is, it's another vibration. It's an organ which, or maybe a chakra that needs that. And I've experienced my heart being blocked and not allowing the energy of love to enter into my life. Because that's one area where there was a lot of struggle. So one thing which I did understand is that we have a connect, every one of us has a connect to the universal life force energy. We've all experienced it when we were in the arms of our mother as a baby, when she was showering this unconditional love on us, because that's what the energy feels like when you get it. So the connection is there. So like nobody questions it. No, when you switch on this bulb in the house and the bulb lights up, it's connected to an energy. Nobody questions X-rays. Okay, but we question sometimes.
Okay, so that
So the
brings to
energy
the
is there and it gives us life. This is what I wanted to say.
yeah.
And the more we are in sync
Yeah.
with that energy, the more we are connected to that energy, the healthier we are, the happier we are, and the easier our life is. That's it.
So Elizabeth, you know, you talked about self-talk. How can you relate energy for life with the self-talk? I mean, should we be focusing on energy itself as what Master Alan has been suggesting? Or should we
Yep.
start from the self-talk and we can raise the vibrations? And that we can see the energy what he was talking about.
Yeah, I want to say, you know, everything comes back from the heart. We started from the heart center. That's instant spark that created life comes from the heart, and we grew that we grew from that. So that's where our center is. But I want to, you know, I like to try and keep things simple, because I think if you keep things simple, people do it or they understand it, you know. So with me, energy is how you feel. If you feel good, your energy's high. If you feel crap, your energy's low. If you look in the mirror and you've got a brightness with your eyes and you can smile, your energy's high. If you look in the mirror and go, oh God, I look crap, your energy's low. So it's how you feel. So if you're not feeling good about yourself, your energy's low. So having techniques on how do I lift my energy? Do I exercise more? Do I change my diet? Do I hang around friends that make me smile? You know, and we all have those friends that, you know, the cup is always half full, even half empty, even though we try and get them to pull their cup up. They like the cup half empty. But you limit your time. You don't spend half a day with them. You go, okay, I'm going to meet Mary for coffee, and you have half an hour with Mary rather than 3 hours. And even if you have to make an excuse that you've got a meeting but you don't really have a meeting, just because you know Mary needs your help, Mary needs that supportive friend, but you don't want to be around that heavy energy for so long. So make them conscious decisions and being selfish. Like when you say you got to be selfish, people look at it and go, you're not supposed to be selfish. But you do have to look after yourself, because if you don't look after yourself, you can't look after anyone else. You know, I've got 3 teenage boys that, you know, I can't afford to be sick. I work in this space 24/7. This is my business. And if I'm unwell, I can't feed my children. So I make sure that I look after myself physically, emotionally, spiritually, and angelically. So I make sure when I'm not feeling well, because there's certain days when it all gets too much, is I dial a friend. And being in the healing game, you got a few healing friends, make 5 phone calls, someone will answer it. So, so you sort of lean on them friends that understand it, and then you ask, you know, what's happening? Have I gone somewhere and, you know, I've picked up someone's emotional energy that I didn't realize I did, because no matter how good we think we are, there's always flaws, there's always cracks. We're always working on ourselves. So to make it easy, quick and simple, if you feel crap, your energy's low. If you feel happy, your energy's high. And so in that high vibration, keep doing what you're doing. But if you're in that low vibration, go, okay, what are the simple steps I can do to make myself feel better? Play my favorite music, have a bath, go for a swim, talk to the dog. Dogs are great. They lift your vibration straight away. Children lift your vibration straight away. If you're feeling low, don't go hang around Mary for too long. That sort of stuff. So that would be my little bit of guidance.
Got it. So yeah, you actually put across a wonderful point. If you feel great, your energy is great. So let's say if you are contributing, and as Master Alan has been suggesting, you know, it's like about life is all about contribution. It's about service. I am just a servant. I'm just a facilitator. And when I am in that space of being a facilitator and servant, what Master Alan has suggested, so that is where, you know, you will always feel great. That's a question to Master Alan. You know, is that the place that we always should be looking at, even if we are the space of being a facilitator only, and that's where you're always and always and always at high energy? Yeah, actually, you have to unmute yourself, Master Alan.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes. When you are serving, you're a servant. You're not thinking of yourself. You're only thinking about others. You know, many of you have spoken, the unconditional love of a mother, right? What do the saints do? They offer unconditional love. What does the divine Tao Source do? They offer unconditional love. What does the sun do? It shines equally on everyone and everything. Doesn't care if you're a good person or a bad person, right? What your creed is or anything, it shines equally on everything. When you do that, you forget yourself. You know, you forget all these layers of, I think Elizabeth called it the crust or something like that, right? That you surround your true nature with, your true shining original nature, which is your God nature, which is your divine nature, which is your shining soul. You know, your soul is a light being. If your third eye is open, you can see your soul. You can see other people's souls. It's a light being, but we cover it with clouds. The clouds are our negativities in our mind, our heart, our actions, all those things.
So
that's a wonderful point. When you are
I
serving,
will
you
into it.
have. So that brings my question to Sukhdeepa, because you have been serving in the area of transformation for so many years now. I mean, it's more than 25 years now, and you have been
35
serving
years.
all across 35 years now. And I want you to share your related experiences. Like, how could you just leave your high-paying job and then, you know, you moved on to the area of serving, and when you connect all the things together, what Elizabeth is saying and what Master Alan is saying, and what exactly has been your experience in that flow? You know, how can you make yourself always feel great despite of turbulent situations? Because when you are serving, many times you might be uh, pressed for finances, might be pressed for relationship issues and everything. So how did you manage, and how did you made yourself in that state I want you to have your experience in the space of
First of
energy.
all, thank you for asking such a wonderful question. See, why did I do that? Because I experienced something which I'd never experienced before. I experienced the oneness, okay? And I was actually called. I mean, I said, hey, I've discovered my calling. This is what I'd like to do for the rest of my life, okay? Number one. Number two, what I also discovered was life is not about being in a state of eternal bliss. I think transformation is for me that you are able to be in the presence of whatever may be happening in your life without loss of power and without losing your purpose. And also when we talk about being, see, and what had happened to me from a guy who was always self-centered, always concerned about myself, always frightened, and with no self-determination in my life, I was trying to meet the expectations of others. I suddenly shifted to a space of pure service, right? And when I did that, surprisingly, I was completely looked after. I mean, it was never that my needs were not met. Okay, there was a time when I kind of, sometimes, you get sucked into this numbers game, which I did for a while. And I knew that I was deviating from my purpose. And then things started falling apart because I deviated from my purpose. Now, coming to serving, I want to say something which I discovered. I mean, obviously, Elizabeth and Alan would know about this, that when you're in a state of service, you're in a state of love, unconditional love. You are not bothered about who you're serving with, serving and what you're getting out of it or not. You just do it because you do it. And what is happening is that the energy is flowing through you.
So, Deepak, I'm sorry. I just have to stop here because I've been asked by the moderator to stop.
Just give me 30 seconds. I want to complete this,
Yeah.
sentence, if you'll permit me. So when I'm giving the energy is flowing through me also, isn't it? Further cleansing me and further adding to the ability to give this energy to others. That is the beauty of serving, because you get served for sure. Thank you.
And gratitude.
So
I'll
to
say
wrap it up,
Absolutely.
to wrap it up,
one word, gratitude.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Sorry, one word.
I want to say one word is gratitude. Once you look at something that's grateful in your life, even the simple breath that you take every morning, start with that and build on it. And then all of a sudden things shift and change.
Great. So thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you, Alan, and thank you, Sukhdeepak. So what I got from this conversation when you are talking about energy for life, so the best word or the best action is serving. This is what my takeaway is all about. I don't know who else has different takeaways. Thank you so much, Alan, for your time.
Thank you.
Sukhdeepak and Elizabeth. Bye-bye.
Totally
you.
agree with all of you. Thank you
So
all.
much, everyone.
Bye, gentlemen.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Vinay. Thank you, Sukhdeepak-ji.
Thank you.
Now, up we have, that was a great session. We definitely don't want to stop these discussions, but then we have, time to maintain. So, Dr. Arun Sharma, are you there? Are you there with us? Okay, beautiful. So, Dr. Arun Sharma is from Mint ND. He's the founder director of Imana USA. He is going to speak to us about nature cure for skin problems and psoriasis. Dr. Arun Sharma, welcome. Namaste. Yeah, 1 second. Please unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect, Dr. Arun. Welcome.
All right. Okay. When we talk about nature cure, people think that is some cure through natural means, but we believe that there is no need for cure. Disease is itself a process of cure. When we understand that and accept it, that disease is itself a process of cure, then we don't have panic or fear in our mind. All the physical ailments are preceded by a mental ailment, without solving which even the physical ailments do not get solved. We have a lifestyle. Cause for all diseases are one. All the causes point out to unhealthy lifestyle. Because of unhealthy lifestyle, our activities in the body do not function properly. All the activities in the body can be divided into two parts. First is of assimilation and converting food into the blood. Second part is of elimination, where toxins or fecal matter from the body is eliminated. In this process, most of us take care of our food, daily habits of eating food. We don't miss it. We don't miss our breakfast. We don't miss the snacks between breakfast and lunch. We don't miss the snacks between lunch and dinner. We don't miss any of those. A person was telling me, Dr. Saab, I'm taking exactly at 8 o'clock my breakfast, exactly at 10 o'clock I have my snacks, exactly at 1 o'clock I'm perfectly doing everything in timely, regulated manner. Regularity in eating is my habit, he says. Then why am I getting so sick? All the sickness is coming to me. I said, regularity in eating is not a rule of health. Regulated eating is a rule of health. That means what? It's not when the clock strikes 1, but when the stomach tells you you're hungry, only then we are supposed to eat. When we don't follow this principle, then we find that elimination of toxins is not done properly. The normal channels of elimination in the body, if they do not function properly, the abnormal channels, namely the skin and so many other faculties of the body, comes into play to eliminate accumulated toxins in the body. When it does that, then we get all kinds of problems like eczema, psoriasis, and so many skin problems. And when we talk about curing of psoriasis, we think of so many remedies, quick fix, maybe some ointments, some emulsions, all kinds of things. People are looking only for removing the symptoms of the body. Whereas our outlook is totally different from all other approaches. When we are talking about putting an emulsion or putting in some kind of medicines on the skin to remove the skin problem, it goes to these lungs. Eczema of the skin is the same as asthma of the lungs. People don't know that. People think that we can treat asthma separately and eczema separately. That doesn't happen that way. So because people are thinking it that way, asthma of the skin, lungs becomes eczema of the skin becomes asthma of the lungs. They are both the same thing. Deposits of toxins on the walls of the lungs makes it come as asthma. And deposits of the toxins in the skin shows out as eczema. Answer for both the situation is to improve the normal channels of elimination. Respiration, perspiration, urine and feces, the normal channels do not function properly. So we have to work on improving our lifestyle to include healthy practices. Breathing practice. If you do deep breathing exercises regularly, then through the respiration, we are able to eliminate toxins in a timely manner and effective manner. So if we keep doing that, so much of load is taken away from the kidneys and the lungs. And now next one is to expose our body to sunlight. Sunlight helps in eliminating toxins from the skin, and sunlight also gives nutrition to the blood. The quality of the blood becomes much better when we have regular sunbaths. Sunbath is becoming more and more difficult in modern times. because of the structure of the society, structure of the community, structure of the family. They're all from big houses. We are all moving to small apartments, living in multi-story buildings, and we don't have any access of sunlight in our body. Most of the time, our face and hands get exposed to the body, but the rest of the body is completely covered with clothing. Even in summer, we are covering our body with sun clothing. So we don't give opportunity for the skin to get exposed to sunlight. That's very, very important for our healthy lifestyle. When we expose our body to sunlight, the blood is purified and the blood also gets, the science tells us we get vitamin D through sunlight. But that's not the only thing. But our scripture says we get so many more things from the sunlight. Then I don't want to quote so many Sanskrit verses here if it's a multicultural audience. All that I would say is Vedic scripture tells us that we get not only the purification of blood and vitamin D, we get all the hormones, all the enzymes that the body has to make. It cannot make without exposure of the body to sunlight. Supposing we want vitamin A, or we want iron to make good hemoglobin. The combination of these two elements cannot be done without the sunlight. Phosphorus, calcium, oxygen, all this cannot be combined without sunlight. In the same way, every enzyme, new insulin, insulin is not available directly from any food. We need sunlight to combine materials so that the body can make its own insulin. It can be done. People think diabetes is incurable. We say diabetes is completely curable through natural means. In the same way, eczema is an expression of the body to remove toxins through the skin. But because of the concentrated effort of the body, it gives itching. Skin is not supposed to eliminate so much of uric acid. It's supposed to be done through the kidney. But because the normal channels don't work properly, abnormal channels are eliminating. When excess of uric acid is being eliminated through the skin, there is itching and pain and deposit on the skin. Eventually, people who don't revert back to healthy lifestyle, they get a lot of deposits on the skin. In small area it starts and it keeps on expanding. Usually it starts in the feet or in the hand and it keeps expanding and it becomes worse and worse and worse. A patient who had psoriasis from head to foot, it was looking black in the face to him. All the skin was black and he had big, thick patches in all over the body. 16 years he was suffering from psoriasis. And one day when I was out for running in the morning, when I came back from running, I saw in the front office a black man sitting there with head to foot full of psoriasis. And that person was there early in the morning because he cannot face the sunlight. He started off from his house in a taxi and reached my house by 6 o'clock before the sunrise. So when I asked him, when I told him I don't have facility to treat him, he was weeping like a baby and he says, "You please help me, otherwise I will be dead because I have tried so many treatments, it's not working." I took him into my center and I had to serve him myself because the attendants and the room helpers, they're not willing to touch his skin. He was looking horrible. 16 years he lived in a dark room. Only in the midnight he used to go for a short walk. During the short walk, if somebody sees him, they get scared. He looks like a ghost, head to foot black and with patches and his white eyes shining and white teeth shining. When somebody look at him and that stage, they get scared and make faces, he immediately starts crying and comes back to his room and say, God, why did you give this trouble to me? What did I do? I'm really willing to compensate. Please help me. He was crying every day. His name was Jacob. And when he started nature cure treatment, wanted to start nature cure treatment, he asked me, what's the outline of the treatment? I told him the main part of the treatment is sunbath. He said, no, I can't take sunbath. It's very problematic. The moment I expose my body to sunlight, toxic fluid oozes out from the skin. It burns my skin. I can't take the pain. I said, I will take care of that. And I gave him sunbath under the water. I gave him a big tub to lie down in. In the tub, he will go. From this, through the water, sunlight will touch his skin. He had no problem at all. He was getting sunbath and there was no burning sensation. His head was in the shade and covered with a wet cloth. And after the sunbath, I bring him into the room. I use a cotton and dip it in a coconut oil and smoothly go over the skin, the entire body. And so much scales will fall every day. I collect it all in a paper bag and put it in another paper bag and put it in a third paper bag and take it down, dig up it and burn it and bury it. We had to be very careful because the scales will fly, and if it falls in the food, it contaminates the whole thing. So we had to be extremely careful. But we also used to get letters from friends encouraging him that he's in the right track and they all wish him well. So much is importance is to be given for psychological encouragement. All these patients who suffer from either asthma or eczema, they need psychological support to encourage them to continue this discipline so that they will become well. During these days, he was also getting fan mail from my friends who wrote to him that you don't know us, but we came to hear that you are taking nature cure treatment. We assure you that you are in the right hands and you will get well, and we wish you well. So he used to get encouraged. That's why he could continue the treatment. We continued this treatment for just 29 days. Every day he would take tona. Tona it's a mini enema. He used to take tona in the morning, afternoon, and evening. Twice in the morning, twice in the afternoon, twice in the evening. This is to tone up the colon because we are to enhance the normal channels of elimination. During this time, we could do it. And when we did this, his normal bowel movements also improved. And in 29 days, the entire skin became a new skin with silken texture on that. So he was very happy. So not one time or twice, so many eczema cases have been treated this way, exposing the body to sunlight, taking only tender coconut water. That Jacob had only tender coconut water for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's all. No other food, and for 20 days. And then he included fruits in one meal and vegetable salad in another meal. That's how we continued. Rest of the time, coconut water. When everything became normal, he was given fruits in the morning, salad in the daytime, and cooked vegetable soup in the evening. So gradually, he became well and he went back home. So many other eczema or cases, psoriasis cases have been treated in the same manner. What is the outline of nature cure treatment? Expose the body to sunlight. And when we are exposing the body to sunlight, air also touches the body most of the time. And this person was having water, underwater, so air will touch him only when he comes out. So other patients who had eczema patches on the hand or feet or any places, they would take it this way. Skin problems can all be solved. It's not only eczema and psoriasis, but there are so many different kinds of skin problems people have, blemishes, different color patches, white patches, or dark patches will all be there. For everything, the healing is to improve overall health. That's all. If you improve overall health, the stomach problem goes away, nerve problem goes away. All the problems are problems of lowered level of health. That's all there is. If you improve the health level, body knows where to repair, how to repair each parts of the body. That's so simple. If you have any questions, you may ask for now.
Thank you, Dr. Arun. That was wonderful. I have a question, and I'm also seeking all the questions of the participants in the chat box. Um, like, you know, older, like I have my parents who are in the 70s, and my mother is dealing with the Parkinson's. And, you know, there's another lady that I know, she's dealing with skin issues. So, how do you expect to resolve it in people who are at a certain age, about 70, 70 plus, 80 plus? Because they'll be very sensitive to the environment as well. So do you should they also be put under the same line of treatment?
This person who came to me was
Yeah.
74 when he
Okay.
came to me.
Okay.
So it is no difference.
Uh-huh.
So there are so many people who are younger.
Yeah.
For the younger people, it's more difficult for the younger people to change their daily lifestyle habits. Older people will soon adapt to this because they are ready to do anything at that stage where suffering too much. So Parkinson's can also be treated with nature cure. A patient who came to us with head shaking, hand shaking, feet shaking, for 2 minutes he cannot be without shaking. Such a person, on the 5th day, all the shaking stopped, and he threw away his walking stick and asked me to challenge me to run with him, and he won the race. So everything is possible. Everybody in the camp clapped and encouraged, cheered him. So everything is possible. We have seen it through. Alzheimer's is further. How does it all start? It starts with medications for smaller, minor ailments. When you take medications for many years, then gradually it becomes mental problems come. Sleep, people don't get sleep, they'll keep on taking sleeping pills. And then people who don't have what you call high blood pressure, who have low blood pressure, they are giving medication. Side effects of those medication act on the brain. So little by little, they lose connection. They are given blood thinners. That means the quality of the blood is reduced to thin blood. And it doesn't give enough nutrition to the brain. When you make it thin, nutrition to the brain is not given, so the brain disorder starts. So there are so many side effects of the drugs. All these chronic diseases are in the list of iatrogenic diseases. That means drug-caused diseases. So the first and foremost thing that we should do in all of them is to stop all the drugs on the first day, straight away. We don't have to be afraid, oh, I can't stop this medicine, I can't stop that medicine. We don't have to be worried about that. All medicines are toxins. They all give side effects. They are not food. Food alone is your medicine. That's what father of medicine, Hippocrates, said. So that's what we are following. Natural hygienists are the true sons of Hippocrates. So we don't have to be afraid of stopping any medicine.
Thank you. Thank you for that. There are a few more questions. I'll quickly take them up as time is running out. I'll just combine the two questions, in fact. How can the face area be healed using sunlight underwater? What method can be used? That's question number one. Second is also related to what about skin pigmentation on face?
For both questions, the answer is the same, because in both situations, the elimination process of the skin of the body has come to a lower level. Normal channels of elimination do not work properly. So when we use toner is a mini enema. We send it a small quantity of water through the rectum and retain it for some time and remove it. And this will improve the peristaltic movement of the colon, and it will not allow toxins to be accumulated for a long time. It will be active. Another thing is pranayam, doing deep breathing exercise. By doing deep breathing exercise, our lungs get better capacity to expand and contract. When we are expelling our air, when we are breathing out, more toxins are thrown out. And when we hold the breath after exhaling, the lung capacity is becoming better every time because we are giving rest to the lungs. When we are inhaling, we are working the lungs out. We are holding the breath inside, we are working the lungs out. When we are exhaling, lungs are working. But when you are holding the breath after exhaling, lungs get to rest. The quality of the lungs becomes better. Normal channels of elimination of respiration through respiration becomes much better. Thank you.
Beautiful. Dr. Arun, a lot of us would like to connect with you. So can you also share your contact details so that, individually people can connect and get the benefit?
Yeah.
I would request Dr. Tulika to share the details in the chat box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Any?
And Dr. Arun, it's fascinating to listen to all this information. And though we have this available across India, I'm sure a lot of us are still oblivious to these facts, and we really don't practice them in our real life. And you coming to these sessions is actually opening our eyes and nudging us in a big way, like how we should practice and what is the kind of effect that the medicines are causing, which we usually pop up for vitamin D, vitamin this, vitamin that. So any takeaways on that, as a parting note, what we could do to replenish our body in terms of vitamins, minerals that we usually consume almost every day?
Like
Yes.
B12, for instance, some people complain that all the vegetarian foods can be examined and you don't have B12 from any of them. So a person says he has to take non-vegetarian food in order to get B12. But I differ from that fact because if you were to take non-vegetarian food, can you eat a cat or a dog or some other carnivorous animal's meat? They say, no, 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 no. You have to eat a herbivorous animal's meat. So herbivorous animals eat only herbs. You said there is no B12 in any of the herbs or vegetables. So how do you say you should eat vegetables? Where do they get from B12 from? We all can get the same thing provided we eat vegetables. We call ourselves vegetarians or vegans, but we don't eat vegetables. That's not good. It's not enough to be a vegetarian. You have to be a vegetabiliarian. When you take vegetables, you have to expose your body to sunlight. With the combination of sunlight and vegetables, your body can make all the enzymes, all the vitamins it can make by itself. So that's as a parting note, I would say, become a vegetabiliarian, not just a vegetarian. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arun Sharma.
Welcome.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, and we
Yes,
hope
Tulika,
all the
she is not.
participants. Hi, Tulika. So we really hope that this knowledge is going to transform the way of life, and for everyone here who's present in these sessions, and all those people who are hearing us on YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I just unmute you.
Ritu, could you repeat yourself? You were muted actually.
Okay. So up next we have with us Miss Meena Gupta. She's a counselor, therapist, and trainer from Gurgaon, and she's going to be talking to us on the subject unconscious defense mechanism and mental health. Very warm welcome, Meena ji.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I would like a screen share, please.
Definitely.
Can I share my screen? Yeah.
We'll just put you on.
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
It is nice to be
You
with
can
Mavin
share.
again.
You can share.
Yes, right. Thank you.
Minaji, last 5 minutes,
So,
we have some question answer round. So
sure, sure.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that'll be fine, Ritu. Let give me a minute to share my screen.
Sure, sure, sure. There should not be any problem. You can easily share. You are the co-host.
Yes, there shouldn't be a problem. Yes.
Yeah, we can almost see your screen coming in. Yeah, it's there. Good.
Good. So thank you for having me, Mavin. And it has been such a pleasure to associate with Mavin. I have been associated with Mavin for many, many years now. And it always gives me great pleasure to be with Mavin and their associates. I'm one of them, and and they are one of us, you know. So today, the topic today, and well, we are a Society for Complementary Therapies, and like I was introduced, I'm the president and the founder member for Society for Complementary Therapies. I'm a counselor, trainer, and a therapist. So today, the topic is unconscious defense mechanism and mental health. Now, this becomes a very, very important issue that we talk about, but we do not know what are defense mechanisms. So today, me and my associate Surbi are going to take you on a journey of unconscious or subconscious, I would like to call it subconscious defense mechanisms and mental health. So what are defense mechanisms? Defense mechanisms are beliefs to safeguard the mind against feelings and thoughts that are too difficult for the conscious mind to cope with. Now that is exactly when we talk about defense mechanism, it's a facade. It's something that we want to do, but we are not trying to show what we are doing. You know. So we are undercover. That is what defense mechanisms are. So now Surbi will take you through what defense mechanism actually means.
Thank you, ma'am. So yes, a defense mechanism is an unconscious psychological mechanism that reduces anxiety arising from unacceptable or potentially harm stimuli. So I would like to quote an example here. So when you're walking on a street and you see a dog and somebody who has a fear of dog since childhood, that person might not even know I have a fear of dog. And what that person do to avoid that situation is he changes the route and he might take a longer route to reach home, for example. So that is an unconscious or a subconscious defense mechanism that has come to that person, that what I need to do from this unacceptable or what that person sees that dog as a harmful stimuli is to avoid it. So that is avoiding is one defense mechanism that that person has used.
Minaji, can we request?
Defense mechanism.
Can we
Yeah.
request to put your video on as well, please? Thank you.
Yes, sure. 1 minute.
Sorry.
How do we have the screen share as well as the video? We were doing it earlier, so
Just do a switch on. Just click on the video button down below and click it on.
yeah, I'm looking for the video button down below. Let us give the full screen.
We actually gave the complete
screen. Yeah.
It's okay. Please continue. No, right. No,
That's all right. Just 1 minute. Just give us a minute. Huh?
Sure.
Yeah. And now screen share. Start new video.
Yeah. We can see you as well, and we can now just you can
Yes.
start
Now
sharing
let's go to screen
as well.
share.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you able?
Are you able to see us?
Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Please go ahead.
Okay. Great. Yeah. बुरा मत करो बेटा.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, defense mechanisms may result in healthy or unhealthy consequences depending on the circumstances and frequency with which the mechanisms is used. So basically, hota kya hai, in day-to-day life, everybody use some kind of defense mechanism to avoid certain situations or to save themselves. So, but it what the matter is how the frequency of defense mechanism is used that affects our mental health. अगर कोई भी एक चीज है when we say that you use that thing out of the limit, so it will affect either physically or mentally. Similarly, even the defense mechanism, when you are too much, using your defense mechanism to safeguard yourself, that can actually have an impact on your mental health. So it could have some negative consequences also. So we'll talk about it later how it will affect your mental health. These strategies brought into play by unconscious mind to manipulate, deny, or distort reality in order to defend against feelings of anxiety and unacceptable impulses. Yes, like I was talking about, when you want to manipulate something and you want to reduce your anxiety, so what you do is you deny, either you get into denial or you try to manipulate or you try to distort the reality. You try to like we must all have heard of fight and flight reactions. So that is flight is something, running away from the reality just to lower down your anxiety. And somebody who has, for example, if somebody feels very nervous of public speaking, for example, and that person is have very anxiety and lot of tension building up, and he has that kind, if he has to do a public speaking, but then what that person is, he'll try to either get into denial, or he will try to run away from that kind of situation. He will never get into public speaking, for example. So that is his defense mechanism. So the few listed are the common characteristics of defense mechanism. First, defense mechanism are unconscious or subconscious, like we like to say it.
Yes.
Yes. So they are used subconsciously. The person might not be aware. He might or might not be aware of what kind of defense mechanism he is using to safeguard himself. Or if the person knows ki what defense mechanism I'm using, he might be unaware of the motivation of why he is using. Like I was giving the dog example, and that person who has fear of dog, he does not know why he has that fear of dog. That is somewhere in his own subconscious mind that I have a fear of dog, and what I have to do is just to avoid the situation. Second is they are defenses against anxiety. Yes. So just to avoid the anxiety to build up to tension and to avoid that kind of a panic attack, we use defense mechanisms. Second is self-deceptive. Defense mechanisms can help us or they can become crutches that substitute for more effective ways of dealing with difficult situations. Yes, self-deceptive हम इसलिए बोलते हैं, why we use this word is because when you use too much of something or too much of defense mechanism of any kind, which we'll talk about what are the types of defense mechanisms. They can be in later in life. They can be are the crutches. They can be like the crutches that just to avoid anything and just to avoid small anxiety in your life and just to be safeguard somewhere that you don't want to face any uncomfortable situation. You keep on using your defense mechanisms. All defense mechanisms involve partial or complete denial, distortion, or disguise of motives, acts, or thoughts that are self-belittling or self-degrading. Yes. So when we talk about defense mechanisms, it could include a lot of things. It could include denial. It could include the distortion or disguise of the motives, that why I'm using it, why I'm doing the way I'm doing things. Or it could be also, I'll be in the denial of my own thoughts on acts, what I'm doing, that no, I'm not doing it like that, or no, I'm not safeguarding myself from from the anxiety or something like that. So these are the common characteristics of defense mechanisms. Now I would like Meena ma'am to continue with what are the major types.
Thank you, Surbhi. So there are many major types of defense mechanisms. The first one being repression. Now let's give an example of what repression is. An adolescent girl feeling guilty about her sexual impulses frequently blocks on her boyfriend's name when introducing him to family and friends. वो उसका नाम लेना ही नहीं चाहती because she has these sexual impulses which she does not want to reveal. Now, another one could be denial. Now, example of a denial is a recent widow continues to set up a place on the table for her deceased husband. She also fantasizes frequently about conversations she's having with him. Though he has gone, but yet there is a plate always set for him. And she always fantasizes, वो बात करती है अपने husband से, though he is not there anymore. कोई stressful condition आता है, कभी वो गुस्सा होती है, then she's talking to her husband and asking for a resolution from him, though he is not there anymore. So this is again another form of defense mechanism. The third one being rationalization. Now here I would like to give an example of the fox and the grapes. हम सबने ये कहानी सुनी हुई है, खट्टे अंगूर. The story where the fox tries to get the grapes, failing which it says, I'm sure the grapes are sour. The moral is, it is easy to despise what you cannot get. मैं कुछ कोशिश करती हूँ कि मुझे कुछ लेना है, लेकिन जब मुझे नहीं मिलता है तो मुझे लगता है अरे ये सिचुएशन मेरे काबिल थी नहीं, ये आदमी मेरे काबिल था ही नहीं. So he is despising what he cannot get. Now, projection is another one of defense mechanisms. Projection is the attribution of one's own unacceptable impulses, wishes or thoughts to another person or object. Now here I will give an example of a husband who has barely resisted the temptation of being unfaithful to his wife, begins to be suspicious of her fidelity to him, you know. अब वो अपने आप तो he is himself not faithful to the wife, but what is he doing? As a defense mechanism, he is suspecting his wife to have an affair, you know. तो वो क्या कर रहा है? अपने आप को छुपाने के लिए वो he is blaming his wife. Now, the third one being, the last one being reaction formation. This is the transformation of unacceptable impulses into their opposite and more acceptable forms. Hate to love or love to hate. Now here I would like to give an example of the young woman who had hostile feelings towards her mother, but overly concerned for her safety, for her mother's welfare, and becomes excessively worried that some harm might fall into her. Now hota kya hai ki wo she doesn't have any kind of a feelings for her mother, but as a defense mechanism she is trying to show the world that she is overly concerned for her mother, right? So this is again a form of a reaction formation. Now disassociative reactions. Now let's talk about methods of escape. हमने बात करी कि क्या-क्या defense mechanisms होते हैं, किस-किस तरह के होते हैं. Now let's talk about post-traumatic stress can induce any of the followings. वो थे जो environmental थे. Here we are calling PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Now amnesia is loss of memory. हमें याद ही नहीं है कब एक्सीडेंट हुआ था, हमें याद ही नहीं है कि बचपन में हमारे साथ क्या हुआ था. Fugue, which is feeling. When amnesia involves running away, a person may wander away from his or her home. उसको याद ही नहीं है मैं कहाँ रहता था, मुझे कहाँ जाना है, कौन आएगा, कहाँ, he is totally lost. So this is again a method of disassociative reactions. दूसरा reaction क्या होता है? Symbolisms. It is a sleepwalking. हमने sleepwalking का नाम तो बहुत सुना है. Now हो क्या रहा है? Sleepwalking is something that we are trying to escape from a situation, you know. कोई situation हमारे दिमाग में build up हुई जिसको हम face नहीं करना चाहते. So what are we doing? We are running away from the situation, which we are doing in our sleepwalking. So we take a lot of Zoom sessions on dream analysis. So dream analysis says the same thing, that when we are trying to ignore a situation or run away from a situation, it comes as a response like sleepwalking, you know. Now the last one being dissociative identity disorder, which is multiple personality disorder. Now this again, a person becomes somebody else for that time being, you know. Ki I'm so and so, but no, I want to escape from not being Meena, you know. So I will be so and so whom I think is a very, very macho man, you know. So he becomes that macho man or that macho woman that he idolizes, yeah. Surbhi, would you like to take us towards this defense mechanism and mental health? What exactly is it here?
Yeah. So how defense mechanisms are affecting our mental health? Defense mechanisms are often thought of as negative reactions. We all need them to temporarily ease stress and protect self-esteem during critical times. So आपके सबको एक नोशन है कि जो भी हम डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म यूज करते हैं वी यूज इट टू सेफगार्ड ourselves, to safeguard, to protect our self esteem, and also it is thought that they are always negative reactions. uh, at times it is, yes. At times the defense mechanism that we use are the negative reactions of what we want to escape from the anxiety that we are having.
Right.
But when you use any kind of defense mechanism over the limit, then it does affect your mental health and it could cause any kind of mental health disorders. Although we may knowingly use these mechanisms, in many cases these defense mechanisms work unconsciously to distort reality. Yes, though we know what we are doing, we know that we are using this defense mechanism, but the motive, like I was talking about the motive, that why we are doing it, is totally unconscious. The greatest problem arises when defense mechanisms are overused in order to avoid dealing with problems. These defense mechanisms can affect our mental health in many ways, which can also lead to other mental health problems such as kleptomania. Kleptomania is actually compulsive stealing, that you have an urge to steal something. It might not be very valuable thing, but you have that uncontrolled urge that you have, that you want to pick something up. This could be due to an overuse of any kind of defense mechanism, that you have indulged into something like kleptomania or OCD, for example, कि आपको इतनी ज़्यादा anxiety build up हो चुकी है, you have so much of tension in your body that you want to just wash your hands again and again. Next is pathological lying. That is also compulsive lying, कि आप हर चीज से बचने के लिए you are just lying, and that might not be even necessary. Next is personality disorders, like ma'am was talking about multiple personality disorder. Just to avoid the situation, or just to avoid that what is happening to you, you completely transform yourself into something else or someone else, completely a different personality that you are not. Next is sociopath. Sociopath is actually an antisocial behavior, an antisocial disorder, that you don't want to meet people, you don't want to have any connection with the people. So these are the few mental health problems that can arise when you overuse or overdo any kind of defense mechanism.
Yeah, and here I would like to add kleptomania, pathological lying, personality disorders, and sociopath, and many other disorders. Mental health disorders, we have done Zoom sessions at great length, and now people are aware what these terms mean.
Yes, absolutely. Moving on.
Yeah, so let's talk about coping mechanisms. In therapy, the goal is to help the client uncover these unconscious defense or subconscious defense mechanism and find better, healthier ways to cope with anxiety and distress. Coping mechanism can help people adjust to stressful events while helping them maintain their own emotional well-being. So what we have to do, we have to understand what are our coping mechanisms so that we can maintain our own emotional well-being. The use of effective coping mechanisms can often help improve mental and emotional well-being. अगर हम कोशिश करें, so we can develop a coping mechanism. People who are able to adjust to stressful or traumatic situations through productive coping mechanisms may be less likely to experience anxiety, depression, and other mental health concerns that we spoke about in our last slide as a result of painful and challenging events. Now, let's talk about some adaptive coping mechanism. It's very important. We spoke about defense mechanism, but how do we come out of it? So let's talk about relaxation, which is guided meditation, deep breathing, self-hypnosis, and other calming techniques. Sitting in the nature or listening to soft music could be one of them. Problem solving could be another one. This coping mechanism involves identifying a problem that is causing stress and then developing and putting into action some potential solutions for effectively manage them. Here I talk about hypnosis. This is a very, very effective tool to come out and then understand your defense mechanisms. So that puts you into a trance and takes you back when was the first time that your defense mechanism started to get haywire. Humor, making light of a stressful situation, may help people maintain perception and prevent the stimulation and prevent the situation from becoming overwhelming. होता क्या है, हम लोग जो है छोटी छोटी बातें ना राई का पहाड़ बना लिया. So what we need to do is to arrest it there and then. जहां हमें लगे कि हम डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म हमारा ही वायर जा रहा है, let's laugh it out. ओ अच्छा, ये मैंने ऐसे किया था. There was no need for it. So humor can be a very very good coping mechanism. Physical activity, like I said, exercise can serve as a natural and healthy form of stress relief, like running, yoga, swimming, walking. And other types of physical activities can help people cope with stress and their after effects of traumatic events. Also, support, very, very necessary. Seeking external support instead of self isolating and internalizing the effects of stress can greatly reduce the negative effects of a difficult situation. Getting into a non-invasive therapeutic intervention like we provide can help an individual cope in healthier ways. So here you are.
Yeah. So this is the small pamphlet of Society for Complementary Therapies. You can take a picture of it. You can always contact us, and we'll be in touch with you. Now I think
yes, question and answer, because we were told categorically that we should have enough time for question and answers. So here we are. I hope that we are in time, Ritu.
Yes, well within time, and thank you for such a beautiful summary of how these coping mechanisms develop into behavior patterns, and giving us an insight on that. I'm sure a lot of us who keep getting into guilt zone and self sabotage mechanisms now understand how things are operating in their life and why it is so. I would like to now open the chat box for questions. I would request members to raise in case they have any questions that they would like Dr. Ms. Meenaji to answer. And Meenaji, in the meanwhile, you were talking about, defense mechanism, how it can be dissolved. So if you could throw some more light on that while, there is
yes, we did talk about that in great length, how it
yes.
can be dissolved. There are coping
Yes.
mechanisms. See, firstly,
Anything
whenever I take
the thing that one should take up on a day-to-day basis. What I mean to ask is that.
see, every shoe does not fit all, Everybody has their customized ways of taking care of their health. So here I cannot say that ये एक लक्ष्मण बाण है कि जो आप you can take it and put it in
exercise
your
probably.
I think first thing is just the identification that you
Yes.
are using something that is affecting you at a great length, or maybe you are overusing some kind of a defense mechanism, and then like you said, being physically active actually takes a lot of stress out of the body.
Absolutely.
So I would suggest everybody to get into some kind of physical exercises, yoga, which would actually help to also rest your mind.
See, what I want, Ritu, for everybody, all my viewers to understand, all the time I say one thing. The first sign is recognition that you are going downhill. In
Right.
any mental health issues, I request, what happens is that we find mental health a stigma, कि उसके बारे में बात मत करो, share मत करो, उसका कहीं जिक्र मत करो. That is the biggest denial to buckle down of mental health. So firstly, what we want to do is to accept कि कुछ problem हमें mentally आ रही है, and accept it and deal with it rather than brush it under the carpet. Mental health is not a stigma. I always say in all my sessions that please address it and do not brush it under the carpet. अब उसके बाद जो आपका सवाल था, जो आपका कि भाई कैसे हम उसको डील करें, you have to find an effective way. Music could be a very good way to deal for myself. Physical, so we could have a very good way to go to the gym and do things. So we all need to understand one thing. We all have customized ways of dealing with our issues, but please deal them, nip them in the bud rather than let them grow to huge issues.
Yes. Meenaji, what I would also take away from your discussion is one more thing, that we deal with mental issues as if if you are tackling it, you probably become somebody who is in the need of a psychotherapy, and that's something bad. I would rather request each person here to spread the word and come across like जैसे आपके दांत में दर्द है, आप एक डेंटिस्ट के पास जाते हो, एडवाइस लेते हो, ट्रीटमेंट लेते हो, ठीक हो जाते हो. Similarly, whatever issues that you have in life, whether it's mental, emotional or physical, all these issues are just like that. जैसे आपको आपके बॉडी में कुछ रैशेस हुए, आप you went up and cleaned up yourself. It's like that. This is a mental itch that's happening and it's
Very
manifesting
well
in some
said.
way.
Now, the
Yeah.
question here was how to deal with it with children. See, it comes very early. When I say going into trance and hypnotherapy, yes, it can come very early. लेकिन वो हमने उस समय notice नहीं किया, and it became bigger and bigger, you know. So it can come, you know, manipulation. जैसे मैंने कहा, बच्चा जब when the child is born, जब उसको पता है कि मैं रोऊंगा तब मुझे दूध मिलेगा, जब मैं रोऊंगा तो मेरा डायपर बदला जाएगा. So that manipulative behavior comes in very early, you know.
Yeah.
Now we need to arrest it, or we need to give in to it sometimes. But later I need to understand the manipulative behavior कहाँ से आ रहा है, और वो manipulative behavior अगर बच्चे का बढ़ता चला जा रहा है और वो problem बनता चला जा रहा है, we need to recognize. Somebody said very nicely, recognize and accept that there is a problem. Very well said, Ritu. We have to recognize. The first sign is that we have to accept there is a mental health disorder which is coming up and which is growing out of bounds. So let us arrest it now and here, rather than let it become bigger and bigger, and then becomes a big issue. You know? So like हम जैसे हम कहते हैं, nip it in the bud. The moment we realize any mental health disorder is coming up, please nip it in the bud and don't feel shy. It is not a stigma. जैसे आपने कहा, जैसे खांसी जुकाम बुखार है, पैंडेमिक में तो जरा सा किसी ने छींका नहीं, and we used to get a corona test done. You know, isn't it true? So why is it that we cannot look after our mental health the same way? You know, why should we become, you know, to that extent that we become suicidal, you know, and take our lives, contemplate, you know, taking our lives, you know. It can grow to those volumes. Before that grows to that volume, the first sign, everybody should be aware of each other, whether it is your neighbor, your spouse, your friend, you know, anybody in the family. The moment you see something changing in their mental landscape, and which is negative and not positive, we need to address it there and then. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Meena ji. Thank you so much, Surbhi ji. I would
Thank
request
you.
you to please share your contact details on the chat box, just in case anybody is interested and they would like to meet up or get connect with you. That would be easy for us.
Sure. Though we have shared the poster, one can take a picture
but
of that.
probably if
No
somebody
problem. So we'll share the contact
for
details. No
reference.
issue.
Yeah.
Once again, I wish to
Thank
thank
you.
Mavin, and I wish to thank Ritu and their team for bringing us here, and we look forward to more sessions on mental health. Yeah.
Absolutely, Meena ji. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This website is www.
So up next, my dear friends, we have after this wonderful presentation, we are looking forward to Dr. Preeti Nanda Sibal. She's an MBBS and is a functional medicine expert from Faridabad. And she would be speaking to us on the topic gratitude and gut health. So, Preeti ji, can we have you on, please?
Yes, good afternoon में 5 मिनट बाकी है.
Good morning.
Good morning, yes.
So awesome to see you. It's wonderful to see you, have you here today, and amazing.
Thank you. And it's always a privilege to come on Mavin.